So, even though I've been hearing about the news about what Zohran Mamdani said he's gonna do, the kind of thing I just don't like about him is that this man here, Zohran Mamdani, he wants to like offer a free bus and wants to freeze the rent of New York, for example. And honestly, that's just a terrible idea, you know. You cannot freeze rent, by the way. As someone who got interested in property itself, in real estate, you cannot freeze rent because it doesn't work that way. You cannot freeze rent because that's not how a property is, you know. Property increases in value. And when you freeze the rent of the property itself, how does that even help? How does it help with the maintenance cost of the property they're living in? How does that help exactly? It doesn't help at all, you know. It doesn't. Okay? And he wants to freeze the rent, which is just stupid, you know. Like, this idiot is just stupid. As someone from a Pakistani family who basically is born in England, who basically existed in England ever since I was born here, even I agree that this is a stupid idea. Freezing the rent doesn't even help. Like, you want to freeze the rent? Are you serious? Yeah, this was like months ago, by the way, you know. Don't know what it was, but it was months ago. The way it says, ever since he said before he became mayor that he would freeze the rent. And ever since he did that, things were shit, you know? Like, do you even know how property even works exactly? Do you? Do you even know what's it like maintaining and looking after a property? Do you know the maintenance cost? Do you know the stamp duties on the property itself? No, you don't. So when you freeze the rent, how are they going to maintain the property that they're living in? How are they going to do the maintenance cost of the property itself? When you freeze the rent, how are they going to carry on living in there? How? It doesn't help. Okay? When you freeze the rent, you're basically going to cause more damage to the property itself and to the real estate itself. Because that's not how property is, you know. That's not how rental properties are. You do that, and your property will be unlivable. I swear to God. Because I've been going to these seminars on real estate itself, and that's how the reality of real estate is. You cannot freeze rent. When you do that, it ruins the people's chance of living. And another thing as well is that when it comes to free bus rides, no, you cannot get a free bus ride. I paid for my bus ticket before, many times when I had to go to work. There was no air conditioning on the bus itself. When you're paying for a bus ticket, you're paying for the cost of the bus to maintain the vehicle standards itself. Because when you're paying for a bus, you're paying not just for the bus itself, you're also paying for the additional costs for that ticket as well you're paying for. How are they going to take you from point A to B if you're getting a free ticket? Let's be real here. Let's be real here. A free ride, free bus ride. Like, are you serious? When you get a free bus ride, how are they going to look after the bus? How are they going to maintain the bus? How are they going to look after it and maintain the structural body of the bus itself? How are they going to do the repairs? How are they going to look after the body itself? How are they going to do the engineering of the bus itself? When you get a free bus ride, how are they going to do all those kind of things that helps you get from point A to B? Answer me that. Answer me that exactly. Because these people are just stupid, man. Like, I swear to God, these people are fucking stupid. And not to mention, when it comes to recently, it's basically something like you need, like, ID to get, like, 30% off on, like, groceries. Wait, isn't this the kind of, like, mayor that says you do not need ID to vote? Actually, you do. You do need ID to vote. Because when you're voting, you basically are giving trust. Alright? When you're giving trust from one person to another, and they trust you back, that's called a communication. That's called like connection that people need. When it comes to that kind of stuff, people need that. When they trust you, when you're there for them, that's good. And that's what it is with voting. But you need ID to get 30% off for groceries to help with the cost of living? No. Zohran Mamdani, seriously, this isn't because you're brown or Muslim. It's the fact that you don't even know what you're doing exactly, man. And especially when it comes to what he's doing in New York, where it's like Islam being pushed in New York, where there's namaz going on over there. Like, are you for real, man? Namaz in New York? No. No, this is just pathetic. Like, it's just pathetic, you know, what you're doing. Honestly. When you basically, when you're pushing that kind of stuff in New York, it doesn't make any sense at all, you know. It doesn't. When you're pushing that kind of stuff in New York, it doesn't help. Ooh. Scares. What is okay? It's okay. Alright. I'm gonna scare you. Oh, he's scared. He's really scared. Oh, just take it easy, okay? It's okay. Easy. It's okay. Now, what I think about Zohran Mamdani as the New York mayor, an absolute joke. Free bus ride. How are they going to maintain the bus when they're not receiving the money? Freeze on rents. How are they going to maintain the property that they're living in? How are they going to do that? When you pay your rent, you basically are paying for the place that you're staying in. You know, there are some good properties out there that I actually have stayed in and not stayed in, you know. But honestly, it's like this. Honestly. Let me tell you something here, by the way. Zohran Mamdani. I paid for my bus ticket. I deserve to be looked after. But free bus ticket? No, of course not. I deserve air conditioning. I'm not expecting a luxurious interior when I pay for a bus. I deserve the bus to have air conditioning. I deserve the bus to be there for the New Yorkers. Guess what? You basically got this on yourself, by the way. And freezing rent. As someone who basically been studying real estate, by the way, who basically lived in a rental property, hasn't paid for the rental property, by the way, but lived in one. You people do not know what you're talking about. when you own a property, you basically are expecting costs to come in and other things in order to make sure that things get so well. When it comes to property investing, you basically own the property, make money out of it, but you're doing a good job for the community. And that's why I love these kind of people, man. You own the property, give them a home, and you be there for them. That's good. But what do you want? More money? I can't stand you people. Like, we're being there for you, and you're not being there for us. And it's sad. So don't pretend that you're entitled for everything when you don't contribute. They're doing their best, they're offering properties for you. You're not there for them when they needed you. It's absolutely sad, man. And one last thing. When it comes to Zohran Mamdani, him pushing Islam in New York, what an absolute fucking joke. As someone who grew up in England, I expect the country of England to be England. What Mamdani is doing, he's ruining England by pushing his own religion on the New Yorkers. And that's just sad. I don't want this kind of stuff, man. Zohran Mamdani is a fucking joke, I swear to God, man.